Hello and welcome. If we haven't met before, my name is Michael Henderson. I'm a board certified family medicine physician, super passionate about helping people reverse their type 2 diabetes, prediabetes, or gestational diabetes. So I'm super happy that you signed up for this free workshop, and it's going to be quick because I don't think we need to take 60 minutes to explain like things you can start doing right now. And my goal today is just to provide you with value. So if you want to get the most out of this, go grab a pen and paper. You can pause this, grab a pen and paper. Better yet, grab a notebook that can be your reversing diabetes notebook. Open up to page 1 and let's get started. Quick reminders, always talk to your doctor, okay? I'm a doctor. I love it when my patients tell me, hey, I'm trying this new thing and this is what I'm going to be doing. Am I okay with this, or what should I watch for? So just send them a quick note, quick message, and just say, hey, I'm going to be just whatever you choose from what I talk about today. Just tell them I'm going to be doing this for the next couple weeks or this, and then they'll be able to guide you. Okay. Second thing, I'm not your doctor. Okay. Right here, I'm educating you. I'm teaching you what has worked well for other people, which may work well for you, may not work well for you, but it's awesome because the data is like super strong that this does work really well. Last reminder, always carry. And I have a lot of, YouTube shorts and stuff on this, but you ready? A 15-gram simple carbohydrate snack with you at all times, okay? This is the kind of carbohydrate that gets into the system quick. It's usually refined or processed, and it's sugar. It's just because sometimes when your blood sugar is going down, we got to get it back up. All right, number 1, growth mindset. This was the last one that I shared in my little social media post. I wanted to put it first because if we can start with a growth mindset, all these other steps become way more easy. So first, a growth mindset, I'm going to first share what it is not. So a growth mindset is not fixed, meaning I am this or I can only do this. We'll find that it's usually when we're in a slightly uncomfortable situation that we'll notice our words. So just pay attention to your words. And if anything kind of like clicks with you, write it down, okay? So that might have been something. Oh, when I feel uncomfortable, notice my words, okay? So we'll notice we're in a fixed, like we put ourselves kind of in a box, okay? Like I am this way, or I can't do this because of this. You're in a box. And then the last way to kind of recognize a fixed mindset or not a growth mindset is we focus on how others might perceive us. Is someone going to think this about me? Do they, say that I'm this? And does that ever do any good for you? It doesn't for me. So that's what it's not. Now let's talk about what it is. So we've just focused on what it is not. Now we're going to focus on how to start engendering or cultivating a growth mindset. So the first one, I love this. It's the magic yet. So whenever you find yourself putting yourself in a box, and this is kind of cool because you can do it real time. I'll give an example. Find yourself when you're in that fixed mindset. I'll say I am a bad cook. Okay, it's a common example. I'm a bad cook, period. Replace that period with a yet. I am a bad cook, yet I'm excited to try a new recipe this week. See, doesn't that like give you chills? Like I just got chills, right? It's just like, hey, we can do an extra step. I might see myself like this. Others might see me like this. Who cares what they think? Yet. Write it down if you're getting good ideas. Next is focus on the moment. A lot of times when we're in the fixed mindset, we're thinking about kind of like a past or maybe future. Focus on right now. Many things with my new company and things like that I've never learned before, and I'm learning on the go. And instead of me thinking, oh, I've never edited a video on this program before, I could say, today I'm going to learn how to change the contrast imaging, or I'm going to learn this one skill. I focus on that one moment, and then when I'm done, it's really a growth experience. And there's so many more awesome things you can do with this, but I'm going to keep it brief for you. Next thing you can do is share the positives and the negatives. You might say, I'm a bad cook. You could use a yet, or you can just say, I'm a bad cook and I made some awesome protein balls the other day that were super tasty. Or you can say, I don't think I'm a good cook, yet thinking of positives and negatives. I hate being in the kitchen, and I do like eating good food. Or another positive is I like to help my spouse cook in the kitchen. I like to be with my spouse. So focusing on the positive and negatives can help us into this growth mindset. On to number two. Number two, eat foods that are low fat, whole food, and plant-based, okay? Now, you don't have to be perfect in this by any means. It's just a constant effort. And if you're not doing this right now, be patient with yourself. Remember, number one, growth mindset. It's all an experiment. Just think about this. It's all an experiment. We're just trying new things, seeing what works, what doesn't. It's all an experiment. So what is low fat, whole food, plant-based? I'll be brief. Low fat is about 10 to 20% of your calories. I know that can be confusing. Just think 30 to 40 grams or less. 20 grams of fat would be like ideal, okay? So let's write that first thing down. So we can say 20 to 30 grams of fat. That's total fat. And ideally no saturated fat, but that's a different story. Next, whole foods. So these are foods that look how they looked when they were grown or harvested, okay? Oat milk doesn't look like oats, okay? It just doesn't. It's liquid, and oats are solid or crumbly, whatever. So it looks a lot like it did when it was grown. And then plant-based is predominantly plants. And I know, like, I'm with so many of my patients, and when I talk to them about plant-based, they say, yeah, I eat salads. But humor me here. Salads, to most people, are like iceberg lettuce, maybe like a couple carrots and cucumbers and, some dressing, okay? I'm going to draw a dressing container here and just dumping out all... Like, sometimes that's a salad, and I will give you credit, right? Like, you're at least, it's an experiment, right? Experimenting. Maybe you're not having that often, and you're going to have it more often. Awesome. I want to paint a picture of what a salad means to me, someone that's been whole food plant-based for almost a decade. A salad to me is a large bowl. A salad to me is multiple greens. A salad to me is different nuts and legumes. Legumes are like beans or chickpeas or something like that. A salad to me also has maybe some other vegetables like tubers, or I can use more simple words, just like sweet potatoes or other potatoes that are roasted. And I know it might sound like a lot of work when you do this, but when you get in the cycle of it, we already have that stuff in our fridge now, cooked from a different dinner one night. And now it's like, what do I do for leftovers? Chop that stuff up, put it in my huge salad bowl, and my mouth is watering right now. It's lunchtime and I'm so excited to eat. Salad dressings, there is an array of salad dressings that totally make such good salads. I'm totally going off right now. I'm really passionate about this whole subject, and food especially, because it's so broad, right? We grow up eating certain ways and thinking certain things and not really getting outside of the box. We're in that fixed mindset. This is what I grew up eating. This is what we always eat. Oh, there's an array and a world of possibilities in here. It's an experiment. Let's experiment together. So plant-based is things that are not animal products. We have meat, beef, chicken, pork, fish, turkey, bacon, salami, whatever. And then no dairy, which is milk, yogurt, cheese, or cream. And so those things we're just putting aside. And no processed stuff, no processed sugar, processed grains. So anyway, low fat, whole food, plant-based. Now let's get into how. How can we start eating low-fat, whole food, plant-based? And this is kind of fun. You ready? So number one is what's in season. Why would I say that? One, the nutrient density is higher. These are more nutritious foods when they're in season. Second, they're usually cheaper, right? You think of a farmer, he's got these grundles of, sweet potatoes or corn. He's like, take it, like I have so many. It's cheap, right? Supply and demand curve. Anyway, so what's in season is usually cheaper, easy to find because there's a big sign, like sale today or, less expensive. So that's one way to start eating this way. Number two, what do you already enjoy, and then kind of make these little tweaks to make it whole food, low fat, plant-based. An example would be rice. A lot of people in America have white rice. Well, What if you did basmati rice or long grain rice or brown rice? It's not going to taste like white rice exactly, okay? But if you learn how to cook it right, it can be really close, and there's different brands out there that are really good. We have one, Amazon didn't carry it for a while. We're like, what are we gonna do? They got it back in stock. We ordered it and we love it. So what do you already enjoy, and then start making little substitutions. Don't expect it to taste exactly the same, because it doesn't. Yet we're trying to reverse diabetes. We're doing an experiment. Number 3, food labels. I have a whole nother YouTube video on this. Go check it out when you're done with this. But learn how to read food labels to promote this. 2 quick things. Whole should be in the first section, or the first couple ingredients, right? Like whole corn or whole wheat or apples, or the whole food should be in that first part of the ingredient list. And then the number 2 with food labels is when you start getting into big long ingredient lists with numbers and dashes and chemical words, chemical names, it's not usually whole, okay? They've usually processed it pretty significantly. So watch for that, all right? So there is our number 2. Let's go move to number 3. Enjoy movement. Yes, some people think of movement, they think of exercise, they think of gym clothes on and kind of get overwhelmed by the thought. Let me tell you something. It all counts. Everything. If you walk to your car, that counts. If you play with your child, it counts. If you do housework, it counts. If you do yard work, it counts. All of it counts. Scientifically, they measure things in metabolic expenditure. Metabolic expenditure is basically how much our metabolism and our body needs to use energy to accomplish a task. And you'll see that even some brisk walks or other things can really equate to simple household duties. So it's really cool, okay? So we've got this amazing body that we've been blessed with, and it has muscles. The more muscles we have, the more we can use glucose or sugar better, okay? So that's one way it helps type 2 diabetes. Let me teach you different ways how to enjoy more movement and to move more in your daily life to begin to promote these diabetes changes or to promote insulin sensitivity. So number 1 is plan. So you need to plan things out. Find out, what am I going to do this week? Am I going to walk after dinner? Am I going to try a new exercise video? Am I going to link up with my old buddy, my old high school buddy, and go to the gym? Or am I going to try an aerobic class or Peloton, whatever? So first is just plan it. That's it. Just make a plan. Number 2 is to make it easy, okay? Now, the way to make this easy is limit decision-making process. Let me explain. The night before, do everything you can to make sure you have the easiest time going to the gym. A gym bag is a great start. I have my water, I have my clothes, I have my shoes, workout bra, workout clothes, whatever it is that you need, they're in the bag, ready to go. That way in the morning, it's that's easy. Get all dressed and ready, let's go. You can put your car keys in there. You can put your gym tag membership there. You can even call a friend and be like, yo, let's go to get together tomorrow, and let's go at 10. We go to this one fitness class. Can you text me in the morning just so I can remember or make sure you're still coming? Then you have that accountability. So make it as easy as possible. Remove as many barriers as possible, okay? And what else do we see here? I love that target sign, because focusing on the moment. This happens for me, and it might happen for others. If it's happened to you, let me know. Comments below would be great. There's a time when I'm exercising that I completely get immersed in the moment. All my senses are heightened. I'm feeling my body, whether it's a burn, whether it's breathing deep, whether it's my eyes are just appreciating the moment. And I'm just whoa, this feels good. Notice when you have that target focus moment and live there for a moment, okay? Sometimes I might be walking upstairs to work and there's a gorgeous sunrise coming through the windows. Or I see this gorgeous, this happened to me in residency, there was this beautiful mountain range, and I'd walk up these, 6, 7, 8 flights of stairs, and it would just be breathtaking. I'd stop and be like, this feels good. I'm grateful for my body, and that is beautiful. That is beautiful that God gave me to see. So take that moment and really focus in. Okay, really focus in. So there's number 3. Number 4, meaningful connections with others. I love connecting with people. I wish that each of you, I wish I could see you right now here in a room, and we could just talk and I could see your facial expressions. That's where I light up. Helping with diabetes remission is meaningful connections. So let me give 3 ideas of how to have meaningful connections. Before I do that, let me first ask you a couple questions. So number 1, how does it feel to hug a friend or a spouse or a child? How does it feel when you take time to listen to someone, to truly listen to them, putting yourself in their shoes, asking meaningful questions, and having that moment together? There's amazing endorphins and even a hormone called oxytocin released in the brain that strengthens our connections with others when we do these kinds of things. Here's those 3 suggestions. Number 1, visualize. And this is really an enjoyable experience that I have each morning. I visualize just 1, maybe 2 experiences I'm going to have with another person that day. And I ask myself, what will it be like? Where will we be? What questions can I ask? How will I listen to them? How will I focus on them? And how will I make that the best interaction I can? And then when you're done with that, it's kind of a really cool experience to remember what you thought about in the morning and how it played out and what you can learn from it. It's really neat. So that's a first idea. Second idea is a text or post. You can do this right now as you're listening or even when you're done. A simple text, hey mom, just want you to know I love you. Or a friend, hey, it's super blessed to have you as a friend. Thanks for hanging out the other night or let me chat with you the other day. Okay. And then the last suggestion is clean up your social media. I know, right? The algorithm's got us. We're scrolling, for minutes before we know it, or looking at things that we probably wouldn't usually look at, or watching things, and it draws us in and just kind of numbs us or blinds us sometimes. So one recommendation is just when you turn it on and say, I'm going to clean it up. What's one person or one thing I follow that doesn't leave me feeling refreshed, that I don't feel like I'm the kind of person I want to be after I watch their content, and just unfollow them. You're doing yourself a favor and surrounding yourself with greatness. Thank you for being here again. It has been so enjoyable to talk with you. So for our last thing for this masterclass, this awesome learning experience, number 5 is refreshing sleep. Doesn't it just feel good to wake up in the morning and just say, I'm ready for today? Okay, a little into our world. We do have a young boy, a 3-year-old. He has type 1 diabetes. And every night my wife has her alarms on. Some nights I take as well when I don't work the next day. And it'll alert us anytime he's too high or too low, so we can go give him more insulin or give him a 15-gram simple carbohydrate low snack in the middle of the night. And it kind of wears on you after a little bit. And so refreshing sleep, we can share how much it helps. And I know that you have experiences where you haven't had sleep, and it's like when you do get that refreshing sleep, it's like, oh, hallelujah. So here's a couple hacks or strategies that you can implement to help with your sleep, okay? These are just a couple. I have a huge list. So first is Epworth. There's been individuals that have type 2 diabetes that have horrible sleep. They go to their doctor and they fill out an Epworth, and it tells them the likelihood they have sleep apnea. You can do this online. Super easy. Fill out these questions and you'll know your score. You can then talk to your doctor. These individuals, once they start being treated for sleep apnea, their blood sugars immediately improve. Why? Because they're getting refreshing sleep. So that's one suggestion that you can try, or that works well for other people, is seeing if they have sleep apnea. Number 2 is track. There's awesome apps out there that can track your sleep. I don't like having my phone next to me when I sleep, but if you're going to track for a couple nights, it can be helpful. You can even get these free. I can link these down below. And you're able to track your sleep and see how often you get into the deep sleep, or if you snore, and your duration of sleep. It's just a nice little, let's recalibrate, let's see how we're doing, make some adjustments, and then not track for a while, and then track again. So tracking can help. Again, I usually just recommend this for a couple days and then get your phone away from you when you're sleeping. Last thing is the 3-30-2 rule, all right? So first, No caffeine after 3 p.m. Just be done with it. Next, no electronics 30 minutes before bed. You could even stretch this to like an hour before bed, but those bright lights tell your brain, look, I'm awake, it's daytime, let's be active. When in reality, when the sun sets, things should be getting darker and calmer, and your body starts preparing itself for sleep, releasing natural hormones like melatonin that slowly set your body into a sleep cycle. Okay, but when we think it's daytime, up like this, watching, all of a sudden, oh, let's go to sleep. It's like your brain's still rolling fast. Have you experienced that? Yeah, you can comment below about that. All right, and the last thing is two. The bedroom's for two things, okay? This is what I tell my patients, sleep and sex. So that's kind of like the basic of it is your room is not for watching television or, computer work and all that. You associate then your room with going to sleep, and your body goes to the room, it's dark lights, you're like, all right, let's go to sleep, okay? So those are the 5 things. I've only covered just so little, but it's been a lot, right? I hope that you've been writing on your journal, writing in your notebook, these amazing things that you can try, that you've been inspired to try. Reminder again, text or contact your physician, let them know what you're going to try. Make sure they're on board with you. If you're on insulin or a lot of diabetes medications, even one, you really need to be careful with these, because this stuff can help your blood sugar so fast. There's people that get off meds in as low as 7 days doing these things. If you would like help, you'd like coaching, you'd like a program, I'm here for you. That's what I do, is I coach people and educate people how to apply these things. I've got awesome resources and a group that you can be a part of. Go to my website, I'll link it below. You can join our most recent challenges. You can actually be in an actual cohort and a group and grow with individuals, especially as this holiday season approaches. It's a great time to implement these things and have an awesome, refreshing diabetes reversal holiday. I just am grateful for you and love you wherever you are, and cheering you on, because your life is valuable to you. You've already done incredible things, and you have many more things in store. And as you start reversing your diabetes, a whole new world can open up for you. I will talk to you again soon and look forward to staying in contact.